sparks of joy. How are you? I was getting the message that I needed to sit and do a burning ceremony with you guys of us releasing our fears, not hold it in an inner space, for it to have a projection and a place to go. So this is a ceremony we can sit down and do together. You can do on your own, whatever that looks like. So first we're going to set sacred space with our sage, and I'm lighting it. And I always hold the intention of love and light as I'm lighting the sage into this space. And if you don't have sage, you can use a pill bottle, a rattle, a drum, anything that has sound. If you have a chime, you can do that. You don't always need to burn things to clear up the energy. You can get a medicine bottle and just shake it in your space and all the way around and everything. It just breaks up the energy of your space. So I have an altar here, and I'll show you later what's on there. And I'm just clearing the space and the energy and setting the intention of love and light and harmony right now, because we really need harmony more than ever. So after I'm going to read this prayer. Afterwards, we're going to sit down and kind of actually verbally say what some of our fears are at this time and write them down, and then we're going to burn them, okay? So we call on Heavenly Source. I am afraid right now. I am worried. I am sure of this unknown and what it will all entail. We know things will not be the same after this pandemic, but help me trust in your unfailing love, and let me give my fears and place them into your hands. I ask you to keep the energy of fear and chaos at bay. I know in my heart I have no control over the situation, but I know I can control my self-isolation, my own fearful thoughts, and step into my own self-care more than ever during this time. And not only take on my physical health, but also take care of my emotional and mental health too. Please guide my thoughts and calm my fears and steady my emotions at this time. I know that there are many layers to this journey, and I may not see the whys of all of this, but I will trust that is all for a higher way of being. And we're going to call in Archangel Michael for courage and protection, and then Archangel Azrael, and he's the angel of death, but not in the death that we think. Death is also the change of the ways that things used to be. He is also the angels of all these transitions and changes with our grief and our emotions. And so he can really help us move through these fears. He can help us move through our losses or any kind of change that we're going through. And so it's really important when we call on him. That's why we remember why we're calling on him. He is actually one of the most beautiful angels I've ever seen physically form. I was like, who's that? His energy is one of the most gentle energies. The best way I can describe it is soft waves. When the tides are coming in, those really soft, gentle ones that are coming back and forth, and they're just so smooth and gentle. That's what his energy reminds me of, and that's how his love and support is. So as we're going through this, please remember, you know, he's there to help us. He's there to kind of help us transition into this new way of being. So get your pen and pad, and let's talk about some of our fears that we have. I know I'm fearful that I may get sick. I am fearful my family may get sick. I am fearful for my mom, who's elderly, and my dad and my stepmom, who are older, and all my older aunties and uncles. I'm afraid for them getting sick. I'm afraid of how this financially will look for our future, not only with our 401s and stocks, but how is this going to affect everything else with, you know, my business and with work even, you know, because you know, there's no guarantee right now. So I'm afraid of that. I am afraid of knowing others that may be sick and not make this through. I'm afraid of what our lives will look like after all this, you know, what our normal used to be, how that's going to change. I'm afraid for my friends. I'm afraid for even my pets, because, you know, none of us want to get sick right now, and I don't want them to get sick, and I don't want to have to take them to the vet and things like that. I'm afraid about my children's mental health. How are they holding up? How are they doing? I'm afraid of having basic supplies again. I've had to go to the store 4 times in this course of 3 weeks and haven't found toilet paper once. I'm afraid of, you know, what quality of food I'm going to be able to provide my family at this time. I'm afraid of having stressful interactions, because we're all in close quarters, and I've had to purposefully keep myself away from my family. And how is that affecting them? Because I can't hug them right now. I can't give them that sacred kiss on their forehead that I love to do. All I can do is give them my words and prayers, and that's hard because they want their mom. They want that hug, but because I'm out there, I can't expose them. I can't do that. I can't bring that into them, and so I'm purposely having to keep myself sequestered in different rooms from them at this time because I love them. So I'm afraid of how that's going to affect them. I could sit there and tell them night and day that I love them, but we all miss that feeling. We all miss that hug, that touch. You know, I need that. I need to know, yeah, it's going to be okay too, you know? Those are my fears. And I know you guys may have very similar fears and may be kind of the same, and it's okay. We need to express and talk about it. Don't let it sit there and build up, and then all of a sudden your stomach's hurting or my head hurts. And I can't tell you how many calls I've got around people just talking about their energy not moving, their fears not being expressed. And yes, I know we can't talk to our children about this. We can't talk to even some of our family because we want to we don't want to escalate their own feelings. They may be kind of spinning out of control themselves. So this is a way that you can sit there and put all that together and release it for yourself. Give it an expression. When we write it down and then reread it out loud, give it a voice, say it out loud, then you can let it go. You can cut the cords with it. You can remove it out of your space and out of your body. And you don't want to hold on to this because we need you in a good place to move forward. Okay? Okay, some of the supplies I have is sage. Always with the Mexica altar, you have water, smoke, and light. Any of the tools I'm using for this burning ceremony. So I have clary sage for my garden, some flowers, rose, and some lavender to bring in some calm, and pine for clearing. I have my candle, and then a burning vessel if I'm not able to do it outside, and my writing pad. I did this little crystal grid just to remind me to focus that we're doing this for healing and to spread light to others. Okay, we're outside now, and I have my list of all my fears, and I put a little bit of lavender and rose and sage and a little piece of Palo Santos. And so why I chose these different plants and herbs is lavender's there to remind me to stay calm. Clary sage is there to help clear and balance the energy. Rose is for love and protection, and Palo Santos is to help to cut the fears too. And if you don't have any of this stuff, that's okay. You can use rosemary, anything. You don't even have to use herbs. It's all about the intention. And as it's burning, I'm giving this and imagine me placing this in universal source hands. I'm giving it to Spirit. I'm giving them all my fears and trusting that they're going to take care of me through this time, that I'm not alone. And I don't know if you guys can hear, I have crow cawing in the background as this is burning. And when this cools, I'm going to take those ashes and I'm going to bury them. And now that we just burned it, we want to always end in gratitude. And so that closes our circle, that closes our ceremony. And so today, I want to thank Spirit for taking these blindfolds off and showing us how connected we truly are. Thank you for reminding us of the daily abundance with our products, freedom, health, and social connections that we will no longer take for granted. Thank you for the pause to show us that we were lost in our busyness and disconnection from each other. And now we can go back to a basic way of things again. Thank you for showing what truly matters in our lives, our relationships, our friendships, our loved ones, our jobs. Thank you for showing us this pause so our sacred mother can heal, and that we do have a huge impact on her with our actions. Thank you for showing us how our community is coming together in love and support. And thank you for showing us how we are all connected and we have this opportunity for change and move towards new possibilities. Always in gratitude. Namaste.